All right, guys, we're doing a quick lesson on accountability today. So, simple word with a lot of ways that you help you guys around you grow a little bit. And that's kind of the key with this is that in order for guys to grow, we have to hold them accountable, have to keep them responsible for what it is that we expect out of them and they expect out of themselves as well, too. So, accountability ultimately, like I said, comes down to responsibility. In other words, how do we show guys what they're responsible for, and then how do we give them some feedback or information in terms of how well they're doing? Like, are you performing well? Are you not performing well? What are the areas you need to improve upon? There's a difference between a manager and a leader as well, too, with regards to how this stuff works. A manager is going to tell you everything wrong that you did, whereas a leader is going to help guide you and show you ways to improve. They don't just point out where maybe you fell a little short, but they're going to help you come to conclusions to help you make a better choice next time to help keep growing on there. Accountability is one of those things as well, too. Why do leaders have to create accountability for guys around them? They have to, because a lot of times people don't have the ability, don't have the discipline themselves enough to hold themselves accountable. So by giving that person an expectation and the feedback that follows from it gives them the ability to start making better choices because you're helping them. You're checking in with them. You're creating accountability to help make them more responsible. So by not giving accountability to someone, you're actually hurting them because they're not growing that way at that point. Like, you've got to give them some direction. If you don't give them direction, you're going to let them fail. If they fail on their own, yeah, maybe it's their fault because they didn't take responsibility, but you did not create accountability for them to help them out on the way. So, two things that make up accountability. One is expectation. An expectation here is ultimately has to center around time, the product, and the experience. Time is expectation of time. Such and such needs to be done by such and such time. In other words, if I'm being held accountable for getting something done by the end of the day, that end of the day is the time there. I need to get it done by the end of the day. Otherwise, my leader is going to hold me accountable. You know what? What happened here? I thought we were getting this done by the end of the day. What got in the way? What happened? What can we do to make sure that doesn't happen again? The product, the quality of the product, and what we do is very straightforward. Like if we're assigned to go, I'm responsible for power washing something, and I go and do it, and I do a half-assed job on it, and I leave a little bit over here, and a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. I'm not holding up to the standard at which I am being asked to perform, that I'm responsible for at that point. So my leader has to create accountability around it. Same thing, same questions. What happened here? How did we miss this? What can we do next time to help make sure that doesn't happen? And letting that person give you feedback. Hey, you know what? Next time I just need to pay more attention. I need to take a little bit more time to do it. I need a little bit more help. Maybe next time show me, like, what are the things I need to look for to do that, so that way that standard gets met on there. And the experience, this is the part with people on here as well, too. How we treat people, how we treat others on there, our leaders hold us accountable for. If I'm at work and I'm talking crap about my buddy next to me behind his back all the time, my leader has to hold me accountable to the standard. That's the thing. There's standards. We talk about be the standard. So the standards that center around this, that center around this, and that center around this. That's what I'm responsible for as a team member on there. My leader is holding me accountable to the standards. So that experience there, if I'm talking smack about something, my leader's holding me accountable. Hey, you know what? Is what you're saying or what you're doing, is that benefiting the guys around you right now? Is your attitude right now benefiting the guys around you? How you talked and dealt with that customer, is that a reflection of who we are as a company? If not, you know what? What do you need to do? What's a better way we're going to show up tomorrow? What's a better way to handle it with Bob over there? Rather than arguing and fighting with him, what's a better way to do it? You know what? How about next time we sit down and have that discussion with him versus just fighting back and forth? So, again, time, product, experience. Leaders have to create a standard. The standard has been set in our company. Leaders are just buying into that right now, and they hold the guys around them accountable. It's not telling them everything they're doing wrong. It's helping them increase that standard. you come in here, you don't understand the standards we play by sometimes, but over time you start to take that on, take ownership over that, and it's going to expand. So number 2 here, we've already kind of gone through it, but is that feedback. You've got to create feedback for the guys you're leading to give them more direction in regards to how they create a better environment and how they fulfill these standards that happen on there. If you don't give them feedback, they will not grow. And feedback is one of those things that can be uncomfortable sometimes because it's hard to hear if you're the team member, and sometimes it's hard to give if you're the leader. No one wants to tell somebody they need to improve. But at the end of the day, you got to always remember, like, if I don't give you feedback, I'm not helping you grow. And the feedback has to come from a point of, I sincerely want to help you get better, not just at work, but outside of work as well, too, and everything you do. That's the standard. We always go back to this. So we create accountability around the standard, around the areas of time, the product or the quality, and the experience or the people involved with it. So just understand that, simplify that, and start looking at the guys around that you're responsible for. What's the accountability that you're creating with these guys along the way? And then what kind of feedback is productive feedback for them? And if a guy's real combative, sometimes you just got to ask him, hey, you know what, Bob, I've noticed some things here lately. Do you care if I give you some feedback on this? Let Bob tell you he wants some feedback on there and help him kind of go through. Sit down with him, pull him aside, get out of that normal environment. If it has to be after work or pull off the job site once in a while, whatever it needs to be, but you've got to be able to have that conversation to give them feedback so that way they understand what that expectation is on there or where they might be falling short on there. And here's the other thing. Feedback is the positive side as well, too. Give them feedback on them meeting or exceeding that expectation. You know what, Bob, you did awesome today. That last project over there, you got done early with it. You exceeded our expectation in regards to how clean that thing was at the end. And that customer said, you guys were the nicest group out there, and she had nothing but good things to say about you. That feedback helps, again, solidify this piece up there. So hopefully you guys understand that. As leaders, you got to create accountability around the responsibilities of the guys that you lead on there. If you don't, you're leaving them hanging, and sooner or later, it's going to hurt both you guys.